Alright, we should be live. I don't know how my internet is gonna work today. Let me see. I took a stand, so I guess it should be a bit easier to read the comments. Now, if only the live stream loads though. Yep, there it is. We are live. Guys, today we are going to talk about something so funny and so weird to me that yeah, I don't even have words. Have you seen those memes on Twitter where people like when someone says something so retarded that you don't even have a reaction to send them? So so today we are going to be taking a look at something like that, okay? Now, if you guys have not talked to this NPC in Star Touch Academy, if you go and talk to this NPC, this is the dialogue this NPC says. That name brings back memories. If President Lucilla knows he's in Jinzhou, he would definitely hit her. It would definitely hit her right in the fields. He grew disillusioned with the corruption in the new Federation's research community and planned to leave. So President Lucilla wrote a letter urging him to stay. This is about Mortefi, by the way. If you guys go ahead and talk to this NPC, he is going to say that President Lucilla would be it would basically hit her right in the feels if she knew that Mortefi was in Jinzhou, and she apparently wrote a letter urging Mortefi to stay. Now, in plain and simple language, if I say this, it just looks like Lucilla and Mortefi were co-workers. They used to work in the same research lab, and Mortefi was probably someone who was like a close co-worker, or maybe just a good friend, or maybe someone who was pretty important to the research, whatever research Lucilla was doing. And Lucilla just sent a letter to him to stay because maybe he was pretty important to the research or stuff. But believe it or not, the community has managed to overblow this to such proportions that is literally crazy, okay? So this is the original Facebook post. Of course it's Facebook. Of course it will not work, right? Of course it will not work. Meta, get your shit together, right? But at least we have this Twitter post, okay? And this dude is like, so Lucilla have a crush to Mortefi, but Mortefi reject her feeling just to save humanity from lament. My boy, my king. Well, it does say that he grew disillusioned with the corruption in New Federation's research community and planned to leave. But first of all, it does not even speak about lament, right? It just says that he was disillusioned by the corruption in New Federation's research community. Basically, there were researchers, or there was a certain department that was probably so corrupt, Mortefi just did not like the environment working there with corrupt people, and he just left. So first of all, I don't know where the lament section came here. And second, it literally looks like a normal letter that President Lucilla wrote, a letter urging him to stay, right? There is no indication of any sort that Lucilla likes Mortefi, or Mortefi was interested in Lucilla, or Mortefi left the academy to save humanity from lament. But somehow, people have coped to such an extent that this has become a whole controversy, a whole issue, right? And you guys know what happens when people see their waifu in game potentially having a relationship to someone else in game, right? You guys saw what happened to Alice's situation. People cannot digest the fact that Alice has a kid, so maybe she has a husband, right? So there has been so much controversy regarding Alice herself. And now the same situation is happening with Lucilla, right? People are saying that they will literally not pull for Lucilla because she apparently has a relationship with Mortifi. Now, this post does not clarify shit, okay? This does not specify anything that she has a relationship or whatsoever. In fact, if you take a look at the comments by OP himself, he's like, okay, so this is my understanding about this line. I'm not a pro on ELS, but this is my understanding. So if someone correct me about this line, please comment here to correct immediately than to be late if Lucilla have feeling to Mortifi or not. So first of all, you can see that his English is not really his strongest point. I mean, I cannot complain because it's not my strongest point either. But yeah, you can see from the comments that he may have misrepresented it. Like he may have not understood what this statement means, right? From his English. That is something you can understand. Again, this is my assumption about these lines. If this is true, then it will be cool, to be honest. I want to see a normal relationship between other playable characters than to MC. I have never seen a gacha have relationship to playable characters to other character than the MC. I don't know if he has played Genshin, because just a few days back people were screaming about Alice, but honestly it would be cool. Like, I personally have no problem with all of this stuff, right? What even is this concept that every single girl has to fall for the MC? That is so weird, bro. That is so cringe. Let people live their lives, first of all. Okay? It is so weird to think that people want every single female in the game to fall for the MC. That in itself is very weird to me. Again, I'm sorry if this is what I'm understanding on these lines. Hope you direct message me immediately to correct rather than spreading your hate to me. Someone is like this mentally ill tourist already inventing new delusions. Holy bro. That is pretty rough. That is pretty rough. Okay. I don't understand this language. I'm sorry. I have no idea what this is. You forgot to add the part where Mortefi himself said that they were not even that close, just regular colleagues. This is something someone after a breakup would say, to be honest. This does not really clarify anything. Here we go again. You just gave ammo for another war between illiterate shipper, oh my god, bro, and gacha grail insults. There is no and no shippers will fact check if this is true, while no grail retard will stop tearing down your 14 gen cause they can't believe other units can have interactions. Just think Rover never got her like otherwise. I just I mean, honestly, it is kind of weird to think like every single female NPC in the game has to fall for Rover. Like, Wuthering Waves has got fair amount of criticism for a lot of people, like from a lot of people, to be honest, because of this reason. Because people say that Wuthering Waves has this entire harem situation going on, where every single female character falls for the MC, and the problem is Kuro is not making a clear relationship, because obviously if they do that, then yeah, it doesn't happen in gacha games, right? If they make an official ship of the MC with some female character, then they will have problems selling other female characters in the future, right? So they don't generally do this. But Wuthering Waves is much more open regarding this compared to some other games. I know you guys know which games I'm talking about, right? Pretty much open to this. They show male female interactions like they are supposed to be, right? They show female characters blushing around the MC. They show the MC having really cute, like really wholesome interactions with female characters, and I appreciate them for that, right? I appreciate them for that because first of all, the MC is not a kid, okay? Rover is not a kid. Second, most of these characters are not a kid, and if you are like, if you think of it from real world perspective, then something like this, like this sort of interaction between a woman and a man is very normal, right? In other games, though games that I'm not going to be taking the name of because it's going to start a war, but in other games you cannot do this because first of all, the game is rated 14 plus, right? You cannot show this shit to kids. And second of all, the MC in those games is a kid, right? Is a kid. So you cannot show that sort of interactions with a kid. Once again, that will like be a whole rabbit hole, and that will create a whole controversy, and the entire community and the whole game is going to be cancelled for that, right? But Wuthering Waves has the freedom. It can do something like this. But it's still weird to think like every single female falls for the MC, every single patch, and then the next patch, we just move on, right? From that female character. We never have interactions with them again in the future. And then a new female character shows up, and Rover has interactions with the new female character. So that is something Wuthering Waves has been criticized on. Like, it gives a very, very weird impression. Like, every single patch, Rover is going and just raising up new females, and then he just forgets the previous one. That is something Wuthering Waves definitely receives a lot of criticism. Look, the thing is, Rover is very aura farm character, so it's normal if anyone simp him. It's their fault, and they just like Rover, because dude, he literally helping everyone. Yeah, that is exactly the thing I'm saying, right? If you are literally the Lord Arbiter, if you have that sort of aura, if you are saving a fucking region, right, from literally demigods, then it's so normal. It is so normal for girls to fall for you. Like, it's literally normal, right? Girls fall for guys like that. It's totally normal. So I don't have any problem with that. I just have a problem with the fact that Rover moves to a new area and completely forgets about the old ones. Okay, I feel bad for the old female characters. I feel bad for Jinshi. Okay, I feel bad for Chang Li. So they just gone. They just gone, right? No more interactions with them anymore. It's kind of sad. But yeah, so the community, this is not even a direct ship, by the way. The first and foremost, I think the reason why this shit blew up so much is because this is not interaction with Rover. And this is the first time I think Wuthering Waves has done this, where they have shown a relationship between two characters, and one of that is not MC, right? First of all, this does not even clarify that there is a relationship going on between Mortefi and Lucilla. But because there was a slight hint, people got pissed. This resulted in a post like this. Lucilla had a crush on Mortefi. Straight up, like, how much misrepresentation can this post have, right? This landed into this post, right? And everyone is making fun of this guy because literally no one wants to see a I think people are just disappointed with the fact that Rover cannot have a ship with Lucilla, to be honest. That is why I guess half of this hate is coming from. Are you too retarded to understand basic human relationships? I mean, it's completely true. Like, this could just be friendship, right? It does not even point towards relationship. But that is the thing. The community is so desperate for this sort of stuff. This is the level of misinterpretation, and this is the level of misinformation that is going on, right? She wanted those. Holy shit, bro. That must be hot. That must be hot. Pun intended. People will even make Genshin Heavenly Principles and Rover like 3 wives. So how much do people simp? It is the thing that gacha people do when they have time, right? When you have the time, what are you going to do with a version? Like, you're just gonna be doing this stuff, right? What are you gonna talk about in a gacha game? You're just not gonna be talking about bills every single day, right? This is the type of shit that happens. Makes sense there, bot horror. I mean, to be honest, if this is even a real ship, I don't mind it. I don't mind it because both of them are researchers, right? I find Mortefi to be a really cool dude. Okay, a really, really cool dude. And she's, I don't know, we don't really have any information from her, but yeah, from this post, it seems like she's gonna be a researcher as well. So 2 researchers falling for each other. I mean, when the dude looks this nice, what's the big deal? It can happen, right? It can totally happen. And just think about it. It's not like all the females in Wuthering Waves are gonna be single till the point Rover shows up. It's like they're not gonna be sitting in their homes and they're thinking like, okay, maybe in 15 years a guy, the Lord Arbiter, is gonna show up and then I'm gonna fall for him. It doesn't work like that, right? So these are real people. If you think of them like real people, they will be in relationships with other people. They will not be sitting out there waiting for the rover to show up, right? So it's totally normal. And if you take a look at Lucille, she looks like kind of she looks a little bit aged character. She looks like she's not your, in her 18s, 19s, or 20s. Like, she looks a little bit older, probably 28, 29. That is how much old she looks. She may even be older. I'm not exactly sure. And it's totally normal for her to be in a relationship, right? I doubt they'll go there, so probably just a strong emotional feeling for a dear friend who is an incredibly stubborn ass, but probably good enough for shippers if we go there. I mean, if it is a friendship, then that's fine, but once again, the community is pissed off. And I'll show you guys how pissed off the community is, right? I am also sending an email to Kuro about this line and will contact support in game 2 about the description. Just put how these lines can affect your experience and have influence on your decision to pull Lucilla or not. WuWa is only for male lead ships. People are contacting support. People are emailing Kuro about this shit. Can you believe? Can you believe how pissed off the community is because a character is not being shipped with the male rover? Because the character is not being shipped with the MC. Because they have a relationship outside the rover, like, circle. People are so pissed, they are emailing Kuro support for this. This is so retarded. So retarded. This first comment is like, bro, are you good? Gotta like this dude, man. Gotta like this dude. That line reads as Lucilla wanted Modified to stay in New Fed and help. Maybe he was a genius scientist and a good friend of her. How do people not understand their friendships and paint it as romantic slop? I mean, what do you expect from when the majority of the player base, like majority of the people who do this sort of shit, are probably in their late 30s, who have never seen a female, who have probably never left their basement, okay, have never talked to a female before, have never had female friends, and are probably Discord mods. What do you expect from people like that? That is the thing, right? And I don't even feel like this has something to do with relationships or friendships in general, because Mordefi is a researcher, right? He's a scientist. So it's totally possible that he was involved in a really like important research in New Federation. And because of the internal politics in New Federation, he just decided to go away. And Lucilla was like, this dude is very talented. We need to have a talented scientist like him on board. Maybe it's all about that, right? Maybe there, even friendship does not exist. It's just co-worker, like, thingy. How much can you blow this shit out of proportion? One thing you must realize, the MC in gacha can never have a canon love interest. It locks out the rest of the potential love interest down the line and may affect revenue. This is exactly what I was talking about, right? The MC visits every single region, he rizzes up every single girl, but the one thing that Kuro is never going to do is put a straight relationship between MC and any other character in game. First of all, it is very complicated to do because you have two MCs, right? A male and a female one. So if you do a straight ship, then people who don't like straight ships are gonna be pissed. And if you don't do a straight ship, then the whole LGBTQ community is gonna come down on you. That is another thing. Like, I don't know why there are so many LGBT fans, especially in gacha games. I have not seen these many LGBT like shippers in any other community. I have never seen in any other community, right? Gacha space probably has the highest number of them. And if you go ahead and post a straight ship in any of these communities, even a ship that is like basically accepted, that is basically mentioned in the story or something like that, you will be bashed because you posted a straight ship. Okay, so first of all, that risk exists. You end up pissing off a certain community of players. And second is, if you make an official ship with a character, then later down the road, people who play these games, they are so short-sighted, they are like so socially deprived, that they link every character, every female character with the MC. And as long as there is no like relationship status between them, as long as they cannot ship these two characters together, watch them together like in a romantic setting, they literally don't want to pull for the female characters. It is what it is. It is what it is. People playing these games are so deprived that they will literally not pull for these characters until and unless there is shipping potential. How shit can a person be for just bro? Like, this is peak level of simping. Okay, this is peak level of simping. I have never seen someone simp this bad for a character. Never seen. Like, this is insane. This is not even like something that has happened in the game. Okay, this character is not even released, and we already have all these problems. Not even released. Bro, what is your issue? If you're gonna be one of those gacha players, just leave, because we don't need this toxicity here. Unfortunately, a lot of people are players like this. Unfortunately, that is the reality. This is one of the stupidest shit I've ever read in my entire life. Never ever write a word again. Bro, he should probably delete his Twitter account. I mean, I'm gonna be stalking this guy's profile. Let's see what he posts, okay? I want to see what sort of stuff he posts. This is a repost. This is once again a repost. Okay, he's a ZZZ player. Arknight, this is an Arknight's post. Oh my god, bro. Go seek help, your average job. This is your reality. Man, what even is this Twitter account, bro? I am kind of scared to scroll down this Twitter account because I don't know what sort of shit I'm gonna find. And that may straight up be against YouTube TOS at that point, right? So it's better to not risk it. It's better to not risk it with Twitter accounts like these, because you don't know what sort of stuff these guys are gonna post, right? Now, honestly, someone reacted to this and they were like genuine tears. They're actually emailing the devs because Mortify got more game than their MC. I want more people to troll this guy. I want more people. Just take a look at his username, okay? He is XECO. He is XECO, right? Let's hope more people troll this guy, because this is so retarded. So retarded. They won't even let you put characters on the same bike to prevent retards like you from having delusions. Even this shit is happening? Damn, bro. Even this shit is happening? Like, you cannot put two characters you want in the bike and post an image? Then the community will attack you? Bro, that is insane. That is insane. How pathetic can a man get and still have the gall to look at himself in the mirror in the morning? Even if I sent an email like that, I wouldn't ever admit to sending something that pathetic. Honestly, bro. Honestly. Like, this post, by making this post, you are basically like creating an example of what a perfect internet incel looks like. That is what you are doing. Even if you are not happy with this shit, just go ahead. Maybe, why will you even mail the support for this in the first place? And even if you do mail the support, why will you make a post for this, bro? Why will you make a post for this? People are about to jump if Kuro reveals Lucilla and Mortify are husband and wife. I really want them to do that, to be honest. I really want them to do that. I want to see where this shit goes. Okay? I want to see the fire, bro. Peace was never an option. Peace was never an option. I want people to fight. I want to see to what level people like these will go. Okay? to what level they will start doing shit. I feel like some people are gonna end up in Kuro's HQ if they do this. Some people are probably gonna end up in Kuro's office and they're probably gonna start attacking Kuro devs if they do something like that. But shit is gonna be so funny. So funny. I want some like Kuro to pull off something like this. Right? There is no way I'm the same species as these creatures, bro. The feeling is mutual. Had to do it, bro. Had to do it. Had to do it. Had to do it. And ship except rover, bro. That is my problem. That is my problem. Like I am not a fan of every single character being shipped with rover. Is the stream lagging, or is it just my internet? Maybe it's just my internet. All right. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of every single character being shipped with rover. The problem is when a character is shipped with rover, they just move to the next patch and then the previous ship just gets forgotten. Like you remember what the last time rover was shipped with shorekeeper, it was such a big deal. I think that was the clearest, relationship thingy Kuro has done. Second to that, I think the closest will be with Cartagia, right? Cartagia, when after you save her, you are under that tree and then she just falls asleep on like Rover's shoulder or some shit, right? That was probably the second closest thing they have done to a ship in this game. And now what's happening? What's happening? We moved to Lahai Roy, and after that, Rover has not spent a single sleeping moment with Shorekeeper. I mean, she has shown up in the story from time to time, but it was never a close interaction like they have shown before. Never. Alright? Cartagia. Cartagia's interaction, I don't know where she is, right? After that interaction, nothing of that sort has happened. So I just personally feel bad. I personally feel bad not for Rover, but for the female characters, right? Because if you think of them as human beings, it kind of feels like Rover just risked them up, okay? Made them fall for him, and then he just straight up left. He straight up left. He left everyone behind. He went to the new region. It's kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up, to be honest, right? When I saw this ship, it kind of reminded me of this anime. This is such close relation to this whatever ship is going on, right? Watch. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. Literally two scientists. Literally two scientists. So, Mortefi and Lucilla, two scientists, two researchers, and she has this bluish purple hair. Lucilla also has this bluish purple hair. It's like, it's not uncommon for Kuro to like put anime references. Like they fill up their game with anime references, right? So this may actually be a real ship. This may actually be a real ship, and Kuro may be referring to this anime. Maybe referring to this anime out here. Totally possible, right? As we have seen Kuro. And I would be so glad if they actually take this reference and they actually make a ship out of these two characters. Because I want to see the community's reaction. I want to see the world burn. All right. This was such a weird take. This was such a weird take from the community, to be honest. It's like every single day I wake up, I see some of the people in the gacha community acting in the most retarded way. All right. I don't know why some people, especially in the gacha community, behave in ways like they have never been out of their basement. They have never seen a real female. Like a few months. What am I talking about, bro? Let's take the most recent example. Okay, Jane Doe skin. Jane Doe skin came out, and I made a video on it. All right, let me show you guys. I made a video on it where people were complaining about how the Jane Doe skin looks. About how the Jane Doe skin looks. Okay, let me show you the Twitter post. So this was the Jane Doe outfit, right? What the F is this? It can't even classify as clothing, she's just wearing rags. People got offended because a character in a gacha game got a swimsuit as their costume. And then today, someone is offended because we can have a ship in a game with another male character that is not Rover. It's like every single time, someone in the gacha space has to make the most retarded take possible for a human being. Most retarded take, right? Out here, this guy has clearly not seen a woman in a swimsuit in his entire life. He's probably never went to the beach, has probably never seen a real woman wearing a swimsuit. And Jane Doe's costume is like one of the decent costumes, to be honest. It's one of the decent swimsuits. Like, it's literally not even like showing her belly or something. Okay, it's a very decent swimsuit. It's covering more than half of her body. And this dude has a problem with that. And today we have a player like that in Wuthering Waves community complaining about a ship. I just don't understand how some gacha players can make takes so retarded. So retarded. Right? What do you guys think is gonna happen if these two get shipped? What's gonna happen? If Wuthering Waves, if Kuro goes ahead and makes this an official ship, what will happen to people like this? What will happen to people like this? What will they do? I missed what's going on. All right, I'm gonna be showing you a real quick recap. Okay, basically this conversation happened in game where there is a dialogue. If you talk to this NPC Biscotti in Star Touch Academy, he's talking about Mortefi, right? The name brings back memories. If President Lucilla knows he's in Jinzhou, it would definitely hit her right in the feels. He grew disillusioned with the corruption in New Federation's research community and planned to leave. So President Lucilla wrote a letter urging him to stay. So President Lucilla apparently wrote a letter to Mortefi to stay in the academy in the New Federation's research community, and people have turned this into a ship. People have turned this into a ship, and the worst thing is, even if it was a ship, that's not a big problem. People like this exist that are literally emailing Kuro about this ship. They're like, we don't want this ship because if you put the ship, then it's going to influence your decision to pull Lucilla or not. It's going to influence player decision. Will this influence your decision? I want to know what my viewers think about this. Will this influence your decision, chat? If you are going to pull for Lucilla, and Lucilla already has like a relationship in the game with Mortefi, will this affect your choice to pull for her? Because personally, I don't really mind. Like, it would be very interesting if these two have some synergy as well, right? Mortefi buffing heavy attack, so Lucilla, maybe she has some heavy attack in her kit, and then you can put both of these two in the same team. I would go ahead and do it. I would pull. I mean, I was gonna pull for Mommy Lucilla. I always pull for Waifus, right? But yeah, if something like this happens, if they have an official interaction, or if they are like an official ship from Kuro, I'm gonna be putting them in the same team. It's gonna be so fun, right? But people are now going to Kuro and they are emailing Kuro about this. They are emailing Kuro regarding this ship. So weird, man. So weird. This is why gacha game story is made, because the MC is always made as a self-insert character and affects players like you. Come on, man. The fact that it's straight is already great. A harem is a nice thing, but not to that extent. I mean, yeah, like, imagine how good the story could be in these games if we had like real slice of life romance stuff, right? If we had real relationships, if they could show real relationships in these games between people, The story would be so good. I mean, everyone who appreciates good romance manhwas, who appreciates like good slice of life romance animes, they're gonna be enjoying the story so much more if there are like these snippets or romantic interactions. But it is because of people like this that we cannot have good shit. It is because of people like this. To what extent will they go over something like this? You never know, right? They may just straight up reach Kuro's HQ. They may start going and attacking like Kuro devs over this IRL. They may start jumping on the devs because they made a ship with a character who they were fantasizing with Rover's 15th waifu. Yeah, we're gonna create a harem. I don't get what the problem is exactly. That there, it is not a problem, but it has been blown off to such a huge proportion, and some people are so degenerate that they cannot handle the fact that there can be a ship between two characters in game. It is not even confirmed a ship. It is not even confirmed. Like these two lines, it literally doesn't confirm shit. It just says that Lucilla just sent a letter to Mordefi urging him to stay. And Mordefi left the new Federation research community because he grew disillusioned with the corruption in the community. So it could literally be that he is a great scientist, right? He was he was a very respected scientist in the Federation, but he just left the Federation because there was a lot of internal politics. And Lucilla just wanted him back because he's a good scientist. He could just help with the research, right? There is no trace of any sort of shipping in this line, but it has exploded into a shipping that has exploded into more comparisons that has escalated into people literally sending email to Kuro to not let this ship happen. That is how much this shit has escalated, and you can see this stuff is blowing up. This stuff is blowing up. 2,000 likes, 200 retweets. All right. A reply to this is 7.3k likes, 659 retweets. Then, okay, this was the anime one, right? This is the guy sending the email. He's got 216 likes and 266 retweets, right? The more concerning thing is 216 people have liked the fact that this dude has emailed Kuro about this ship. That is the more concerning fact, that there are 216 possible Wuthering Waves players who use Twitter who are not happy with this ship and who have who are supporting the fact that you should email Kuro about this. That is even more concerning, that there are even 213 players. The reason is companies prioritize profits, not other communities. If they determine a majority of their player base are single player fantasy lonely, they will make design decisions. Like, honestly, bro, like the major community that is playing Wuthering Waves, when I look at my viewer base, okay, when I look at my viewer base, the majority of people who are watching my videos probably reflects a lot like the majority of the player base who's playing this game, right? And most of them are between 16 to 21. Okay, they are between this range. They're between the 16 to 21 range. So they are in their early teens, right? And they are definitely playing with the fantasy of people, because in this age most people have, they fantasize romantic ships, they fantasize all of this stuff, right? So Kuro knows its audience. And that is why we are having every single patch, every single story update, we see the rover have some interaction with some female character, and it is always it gets very dangerously close to romance interactions. Very dangerously close, right? They are just one step away from kissing. That is how close it gets. And then when the story ends, the chapter closes, we go to the next region, they fantasize with another new character. That is what is going on in Wuthering Waves. That is what I'm noticing from the past few patches. It's like Kuro is using this as a selling point at this point. They're trying to sell characters based on relationships. See the profit. If they could make money off of being a romance game, I guarantee they'd do it. I mean, take a look at literal romance games, right? Take a look at Tears of Thermis. Take a look at Love and Deep Space. If those games can put in real romance, put in hardcore romance, even above romance, even above kissing, they go into the dangerous territory. If those games can put shit like that and make a ton of money, how much money do you think Kuro would be making if they started making ships? If they gave you the option to date characters in the game, to date anyone in the game, how much money do you think they would be making? They would probably be the most profitable gacha game out there. Like, bro, Genshin right now, Hoyoverse games, not Genshin, Hoyoverse games right now are the most popular games out there in the market, right? They are earning a lot of money. If Wuthering Waves puts in a system to date whatever character you want, it's gonna be reaching top one in literally a month. No kidding. In literally a month, it's gonna be reaching the top charts. It won't even take a month. It won't even take a month. That is how desperate the player base is. You know, that they see two characters, they are not even being spoken of as a ship, they're just being spoken of as co workers, colleagues. That is how desperate the community is. They create a ship out of this. Okay? And it has triggered people so much that they go ahead and email Kuro about it because they want to see Lucilla with Rover. So imagine if they added an option to date Lucilla in the game. If they did that, what would happen? What would happen? Right? WuWa has a very high amount of insults. It's not just WuWa, man. I have been seeing this in like every single gacha game. Like, this is exactly something I was talking about. This Jane Doe skin, people are complaining about this skin because it is a swimsuit. It is a swimsuit. What the F is this? I can't even classify this as clothing. She's just wearing rags. And this is like a very covered swimsuit. It's like covering most of her body. If you go to a real beach, if you see what real women wore in a beach, they wear much more obscene shit than this. Okay? Much more obscene shit. So it's not just WuWa community that's acting retarded like this. Okay? It's like the entire gacha community at this point. Did they have a kid? No, bro, they did not have a kid. What? Oh, bro, if they had a kid, I'm telling you, honestly, people would reach Kuro headquarters with flaming torches and they would put down the building. They would do this shit. Do you guys remember what happened when Genshin revealed that Alice is like Klee's mom, right? When people started to figure out the shit that, oh, Alice is a kid, that means she must have a husband. Do you like remember what sort of dynamite effect that created? What the community, like how furious the community was over that. And Alice's husband has not been revealed yet. Imagine they reveal Alice's husband and he is not like a really hotshot, really good looking guy. Maybe he's just a random NPC in Genshin. Imagine what that's gonna cause. Like, people will literally like go to Genshin HQ. They will literally reach Hoyoverse HQ and they will start executing devs. They're probably developing a dating game as we speak. I mean, Kuro is working on another game. That is something I know. Okay, they are working on another game. Man, I really wish that they add a dating sim to this game. Really, really wish, to be honest. Okay, it would be so cool. It would be so cool. My complaint about Jendo skin is that the skin doesn't match. Just make her take that off. I guess everybody wants that. Everybody wants that, man. Yeah, everybody wants to take off Jendo skin. Couldn't even tell, man. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment, to be honest. Yeah. Project Nami, yeah. I don't think we have a lot of information on that game. New game by Kuro, right? Project Nami, Kuro Games. It's a MMO, multiplayer online RPG. AMO RPG. Okay, action multiplayer. So they just added A in front of it. All right. action multiplayer RPG. So they clearly they don't say that this is an MMO, to be honest. Like, this is not an MMO. But do we have an art? Do we have anything regarding Project Nami? Okay, Kuro Games new details. Let's see. This looks like, I don't know. This kind of is giving me like Valorant vibes for some reason. Like, this poster looks like a multiplayer game, to be honest. Action multiplayer online. Honestly, it can just be a game with co-op, because nowadays even Wuthering Waves is called a multiplayer game. You guys know how shitty co-op is in Wuthering Waves, right? Even calling that co-op is, it's insulting, right? So even they call it multiplayer. So it may be that, or it may literally be like a MOBA sort of game. This is giving me a MOBA sort of vibe, right? Like five characters jumping on each other trying to attack. Not five, but four characters. It's giving me a very MOBA feeling. So it would be very cool. It would be very cool, honestly, if Wuthering Waves makes like, if Kuro Games makes a MOBA style game. A mobile style game, not the like, not League of Legends style, bro. That shit is so old. That shit is so old. It's like, I it's too old school, right? If they make something like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch 2, that would be so cool. Like, they could put games from Wuthering Waves, they characters from Wuthering Waves, they could put characters from PGR, they could put characters from their older games. It would be like such an interesting concept. And I feel like this is the way to make a sustainable company, right? Because in the future, let's be real, gacha games are nearing the end. Okay, nearing the end. Gacha games are not gonna be the top dogs in the gaming for a long time. We're getting Ananta with no gacha, right? We slowly seeing this no gacha trend. Where Winds Meet, extremely successful, no gacha, right? So in the future, we may probably be getting more games that are not gacha. So gacha is slowly falling off the trend. This is like the right direction to go. Making multiplayer games that are free to play, that have like paid cosmetics and stuff, that you can, you're playing PvP with other players. This is the right direction. Bro, players can't be this self-inserted. Unfortunately they are, and that is what I was like asking, how many of you guys will actually pull for Lucilla if she ends up in a relationship with Mortifi? Because this is like a selling point. This is like a selling point for characters at this point. If they cannot ship characters with Rover, if people cannot ship a character with Rover, they literally don't want to pull for the character. That is how bad the situation is. It's probably a first-person action game like Galbrena's little snippet of first person. They may be experimenting with first person in this game, to be honest. We got first person in Galbrena's quest, and then we got a first person in 3.0 as well. When you were walking with Linnae, and suddenly you have a first person perspective. Maybe in future versions, Wuthering Waves will have a complete first person perspective view. Maybe in the future. I'm coping, okay, about that. But maybe in the future we will have a full first person perspective. That will be so cool. That will be so cool. I mean, yeah, you can just stare. You can just stare down. I know every one of you guys have done it, okay? Every one of you guys have done it. You guys have stared down when you were playing with Galbrena, okay? Let's just admit to the fact. Everyone has done it. I pull based on kit, not on personality or meta. I have every Spectro character because they are fun to play. Honestly, I pull for design. Okay? I don't even follow kits. That is something I have done for the longest time. In Wuthering Waves, in Genshin Impact, in Honkai Star Rail, in any game. If I don't like the design of a character, like the clothes they're wearing, their appearance and everything, I will not pull for the character no matter how meta breaking they are. No matter how broken they are. I will just straight up not pull for them. That is something I have done for the longest time. And it kind of makes me happy. It makes me happy because I can play with the characters that I really like. not because I want to do more damage, but because I really like those characters. The people complaining about Morphe Lucilla thing are beyond unemployed. They're not just unemployed, they have probably never left their basement. That is the thing. They have probably never seen a real woman in their entire life. Or they have never had female friends. You know, maybe they have never, I mean, forget about a girlfriend. Probably they have never talked to a female in their entire life. That is the type of people who are complaining. All right. Let's move on to something a little bit more, more interesting. All right. We talked a lot about the so-called shipping, which is not even shipping, to be honest. Right? It is something the community made up. But yeah, I want to talk about two very funny bugs in 3.0. Is every single day I'm like exploring the game, I keep finding more bugs. Okay. I look at the community, I find more bugs. Right? Take a look at this bug. Take a look at this bug, bro. This is one of the funniest bike bugs I have seen. Like, Cartesia is not riding the bike is riding Cartesia. And it is even more funnier because it's Cartesia, right? She like her bare legs are visible. Take a look at this, man. It's like it's a frog. This shit is jumping like a frog. These are the frog legs. This is one of the funniest glitches with the bike that I've seen. Funniest glitches. Okay, I tried to like redo this shit. I tried to, recreate this shit with Cartesia on my game, but it just didn't happen. This shit was so funny. So funny. Someone post this. Don't see anything. It's just a bike. Man, this stuff is so funny. There is another bug that I want you guys to take a look at it. I think this has happened with a lot of people. This has happened with straight up go inside the ground. Just straight up go inside the ground. This is something that I'm seeing a lot of people on Reddit and a lot of people on Twitter and everywhere, like in comment section, everyone complaining about. Like they're just going with the bike and suddenly they just go inside the wall. By the way, this is pretty interesting. You can see the entirety of Star Touch Academy from down here. Look at how small Star Touch Academy is. Look at how small it looks. Literally, it looks so small. Just a tiny circle. Just a tiny circle. And he just keeps going. Right? Yeah, speaking of bugs, there is one more bug that I wanted to inform you guys. Maybe you guys have not watched the video because the video got like shit reach. It's normal for me, bro. 4 hours 91 views. 4 hours 91 views. This live stream is gonna be getting more views than that. So guys, I wanna talk about this bug real quick before we wrap up the video. Okay, before we wrap up the video, this is one bug that I want to talk about. If you guys are trying to run this team, which is normal, right? Because Cartesia is on the limited banner right now. Linne is on the limited banner right now. Okay, and if you do not have Cartesia signature support, Shikona, maybe you did not pull her for some reason, right? Maybe she is not your favorite waifu, or maybe you just don't prefer her playstyle for any reason. Maybe you are a free-to-play player, you were using Cartesia, Sanhua and Aero Rover because that is like her second best team after Shikona. You can actually replace
trajectory calibrated
Sanhua with Linne. Okay, you can replace Sanhua with Linne because Linne is just better than Sanhua in every aspect, right? She's giving you 24% flat damage buff on everything, all of your abilities, your normal attacks, your heavy attacks, your skill damage, ultimate, everything. She gives that. Her Sonata set, her buff Sonata set is gonna give you attack, and then her outro gives additional 15% damage buff, right? So there is a lot of damage buff that you can get from Linne, and she is better than having Sanwa. So if you are free to play, you might be trying this out. You might be trying this out, okay? It's completely normal to try out this team comp. But the problem with this team comp is, I want to show you guys what happens somewhere around here. If Linne was not bugged to shit. Let me put on my headphones. By the way, Arrow Rover's outro scale is supposed to be able to increase the number of arrow. Where is this music playing from? This? Oh, let's mute it. Sorry for the music. Okay, let me take it back. Let me take it back. Linne was not bugged to shit.
So you're gonna notice over here we got Arrow Rover's outro skill, right? That should help.
So Arrow Rover's outro skill is supposed to help you to get 6 stacks on arrow erosion, right? And that is the reason why we use Arrow Rover with Cartesia on her team, because you want those 6 stacks. The more stacks of arrow erosion you have, the more damage Cartesia does, right? That is why Arrow Rover is like mandatory on the team. Take a look at what happens. So he used Linne was not bugged to shit.
So you're gonna notice over here we got Arrow Rover's outro skill, right?
He used Arrow Rover's outro skill, then he swaps to Linne.
That should help.
By the way, uses Linne's ultimate to like buff the damage. Arrow Rover's outro skill is resets. I just explained the same shit.
And now, since Cartithia really wants a lot of stacks, we'll be able to do her damage, right? So here we go, boom. 2
Swaps to Cartesia, right?
erosion stacks right there. All right, let's get the third one. And now Cartithia's skill is gonna give 2 more. You ready? Oh wait.
This is the bug.
Capped at 3 stacks for...
This is the bug. Basically, the bug is if you have Linne on the same team as Arrow Rover, then Arrow Rover's passive that is supposed to give you 6 stacks of arrow erosion does not work. Straight up does not work. Okay? It does not work whether you have Cartesia as your DPS or any other DPS. Like, I mean, there's not even any other DPS that uses arrow erosion, to be honest. But yeah, if you have Linne on the same team with Arrow Rover, Arrow Rover's passive that is supposed to give you 6 stacks of arrow erosion straight up disappears from the game. Straight up disappears. Okay? And that is not the only bug. That is not the only bug that I discovered today. If you have Yuno and Augusta, and if you are like a crackhead, you want to go full DPS, you don't really care about heals, you're like, I'm a god tier DPS guy, okay, I can just dodge shit, you are a dungeon player basically. If you go with that team, Yuno, Augusta and Linne is gonna cancel Yuno's buff as well. And I heard it, like I saw it in a Reddit post, that Yuno is canceling Chiza's buff as well. You know, like the 6 stacks Chiza gives for Havoc Bane, that is also being cancelled by Linne. Why is my internet so cooked? So that is like 3 bugs on one character that I encountered in less than 24 hours. All of this happened in less than 24 hours. Okay, like when I got Linne, I started looking up for Linne stuff, and then I just ended up finding all of these bugs. All of these bugs. And by the way, today afternoon, the game got a 400 something MB update, right? 400 something MB update. The Linne bug has been in the game ever since Linne dropped. That is on 25th. From 25th, so it's already 4 days since Linne has been in the game, right? And today we got a bug fix, basically a patch, and they did not address this issue. They did not talk about Linne. They did not put Linne in the known issues tab. They did not fix her Sonata set. They did not fix her ultimate. They did not fix the team ups. Nothing at all. There is no information in Kuro's official page. Okay. There is no information in Kuro's official page about all of these bugs. There is no information when they are going to be fixing all of this. Literally. And she is the first limited banner character, guys. The first limited banner character going into 3.0. This character is going to be making all the money for Kuro in this patch. If this character, literally half of her kit is not working, what is the point of Linne basically? People are pulling Linne because she is the best sub DPS support in the game, right? Because her ultimate gives 24% all damage buff. that shit itself is not working. That is giving 8.9%. So your main motive for pulling Linne, the damage buff, is not there. It's not working. There's a lot of places underwater where you can go inside the world, but that's the only bug I've run into personally, but it happens a lot. Honestly, you know what? I have faced this bug in other Unreal Engine games. This is an Unreal Engine problem, by the way. This is an Unreal Engine problem. This has happened to me in many other games. It's not like it cannot be fixed, but definitely they have to give their time to fix it. I don't know what the beta testers have done, bro. I don't know what Kuro is fixing. Yesterday I was testing Pyridin's claim of T0 Yuno, and I was in the Discord doing runs with people watching Yuno Linne Shorekeeper, and the damage was not very good at all. Yeah, it may, like, you know what? People have tested this stuff and found out that Yuno and Augusta stuff is not working, right? It may be totally possible that Linne is cancelling other buffs as well. Like Linne cancelling Shorekeeper buff, it's totally possible, right? Or Linne cancelling Mortefi buff, Linne cancelling any other buff. It's totally possible. The reason why Yuno, Augusta, Chiza, and the Aero Rover shit came out is because people were trying out those teams and they noticed something was wrong, right? It may be totally possible that a lot of stuff is wrong with this character and we don't know it yet because people did not have the time to test it, or maybe content creators did not have the time to make content on it. We know a lot of content creators are out right now because it's holiday season, right? Only us Asian content creators are still making content. Most of the Western content creators are not available. So it's totally possible. It's totally possible that it was not just your Yuno that was bugging out. It was probably Shorekeeper as well. I wonder if they will acknowledge it in CZN. I reported a bug and I lost a lot of materials. They quietly fixed it, did not give me compensation, never mentioned it in any patch notes. That is something what I am afraid of, to be honest, because they have not put the Linne issue in the known issues tab, right? If they put Linne's problems in known issues tab, then we know that when that shit is gonna be fixed, we're gonna get compensation. And speaking of compensation, I don't know when Kuro stopped giving asteroids for compensation. When did this stuff happen? Since which patch did Kuro stop giving asteroids for bug fixes? I remember clearly, like in 1.0, in 1 point some updates, even in 2 point some updates, when there were like major bugs in the game, you know, like progressing the story quest. You're not able to progress the story quest. If there were bugs like that, they used to give asteroids via mail. We have got 4 patches since this new update. Right? We got 4 patches addressing issues in the game, and most of those patch notes were regarding the main story. Like, people are stuck in the story, people are stuck in the bike tutorial, they cannot get past the bike tutorial. If you check all the patch notes, that is most of the stuff that they have done. They have fixed major issues in the story quest, in the main quest. And we have not got a single asteroid for all of these patches. Not a single one. We've got 4 major patches, not a single compensation. So I don't know if they go ahead and fix Linne. That would be kind of messed up, to be honest, because Linne is a limited banner character, right? Story, you're stuck in the story, you're playing the story for free anyways, right? So you're stuck in the story and then the bug gets fixed, you don't get anything, it's fine. But you spend asteroids to get Linne. There are going to be people who will be spending money to get Linne. And she's a broken character. So when she gets fixed, if Kuro does not give any compensation, that would be crazy. That would be literally crazy. Okay, I am expecting at least a 10 pull. At the rate, like, I'm seeing bugs with this character, if that was probably just one bug, if that was probably just a small translation mistake, or maybe it was just one skill acting weird, one, you know, Sonata effect not working properly, that would still, I'll still be fine with like 100 asteroids or something. But 3 problems with one character, 3 huge problems, I am expecting at least a 10 pull. I need my 10 pull. Okay, I need my 10 pull. It's so big. Like, this stuff is so big. So many issues with one character. I don't think Kuro has had this many problems with a character ever since they launched the game. I remember at 1.0 there were some problems with Jian. Then when Yinlin came out, there was some problem, but most of that was translation issue. I remember Jian had a translation issue in his kit, if I'm remembering correctly. But even in 1.0, we did not have issues that were this bad. Like one character completely broken, her ultimate not working, her Sonata set not working, the character is not working with half of the teams in the game, like the meta teams in the game. I don't think we have had so many issues ever since a character was launched in Wuthering Waves. I think Q Yuan is the other character I can think of, and that was a recent character. You know, recently, I feel like Kuro's quality check has gone down. Don't you guys think that? Don't you guys think so? Like, when we moved from 1.0 to 2.0, they optimized the game a lot. Like, people were really appreciating the fact that 1.0 was very laggy. Then Wuthering Waves suddenly became optimized. We can play it on our phone and stuff. Now look at what has happened. In the recent patches, the game got so heavy that it's impossible to run on low-end devices, right? And then we have bugs with the limited banner character. If there was a bug with like a story NPC having a weird translation issue, or maybe you're falling off the ground if you're trying to do some weird shit in some corner of the map, all that stuff is acceptable, right? The bike maybe getting stuck in some wall or some shit, that stuff is acceptable as well. Having issues with literally the limited banner character in the game, the first limited banner character in the game, is crazy. Low end device is really a problem. Yeah, it's really a problem, man. It's unplayable. It's unplayable at this point, right? I would not even recommend anyone with low end device to try this game, because you're just damaging your phone and you are risking the fact of your phone blowing up in your hand. So don't do it, right? Yeah. Now back to the point. 3 bugs in the first limited banner character. 3 bugs, right? Then you have game breaking bugs in the main story quest. Not even side quests, not even like your daily commission shit, not even like a random world enemy, nothing like that. The main story quest is so buggy. You know, the bike tutorial part where you get the bike for the first time, that part has crashed for so many people. It was crashing for me as well. I was in that one scene, in that one bike tutorial scene, I was stuck for 7 or 8 seconds live on stream. I thought my game is gone. I have to restart it. The game breaking issues in the main story quest. Game breaking issues in the first limited banner character. What do you think? Kuro's quality, like the quality checking team, I feel like they're on holidays. They're on vacation. I mean, vacation is going on, but it feels like they have left the studio at this point. They are not quality checking anything. They're not testing the game to see if the game runs on devices properly or not, right? Seeing people at 50, 70. If you guys play Wuthering Waves on GeForce Now, by the way, on the 5080 tier, on the 5080 Ti tier that they have on GeForce Now, Wuthering Waves is gonna lag on 5080 Ti. Let me tell you that. Okay? It's gonna lag on 5080 Ti. So if you have a lower end desktop than that, you can imagine the kind of experience you're gonna get, right? So they have not tested the performance of this version. They have not tested the main story quest to see if there are any game-breaking updates, any game-breaking scenes. They have not tested the first limited character that they are releasing in this patch. So what have they tested? What were they doing in the beta test phase? What was the quality check team doing? That is my main question. How can you have so many problems with the first limited banner character in the game, with the main story quest? It's like they did not quality check this shit at all. They just straight up released whatever they made in the studio. They straight up released. Even the devs did not check if shit was working or not. Because if the devs check the shit, then at least Linne's kit would be working, right? This sort of stuff the devs will notice when they're making the character. They'll notice that the kit is not working. They did not notice that as well. Maybe Path of Exile 2 is buggy as hell because they're on a holiday. I mean, bro, there was literally no reason for this game to release on 25th December. First of all, it kicks its own butt by releasing the game on 25th December because the entire Western audience was away. They were on holidays. They did not get time to play the game. Not a single Western content creator could either stream the game or make content on it. So basically, the entire hype about 3.0 just straight up died because they released the game in like the patch in such a weird time when people were on holidays, right? And the second thing is, if they were to release this game, this version 3.0 after 1st January, what was the problem? What was the problem? It's literally just 1 week, right? I don't think people would be crying in comments. I don't think people would be like tearing their hair over something like the game released 1 week later. I don't think no one would be complaining about it. They could have just like waited for a week. In fact, they could have released 3.0 in January 10 maybe. No one would have problem with that as well. So I don't know why they rushed this update to such an extent. Like they literally did not quality check anything. My bro is a manager at a company and used to be QOI quality manager as well. He says that over time they started outsourcing, the quality of their games went down. Maybe Kuro started. That is totally possible, bro. That is totally possible. I mean, that happens a lot. Maybe because it's vacation time, their quality inspection team was not on site. Okay, they probably did not have the time to fix all of these bugs. So maybe they've shifted the entire quality, checking stuff, fixing stuff to some third-party studio, maybe some freelance studio, right? Maybe they just said, go ahead and fix all of this stuff. It's totally possible. Linne is bugged in what way? Bro, Linne is bugged in every way. Linne is bugged in every way. Her ultimate, which is supposed to give 24% damage buff, only gives 8.9% damage buff. I have tested it. I've made a video on it. You guys can go ahead and watch it if you want to, right? Her Sonata set, which is supposed to be for main DPS Linne, that is supposed to buff her attack, basic attack stuff, that is not working. The whole set effect is not working. And Linne is cancelling Aero Rover's passive. Linne is cancelling Yuno's passive. Linne is cancelling Chiza's passive, right? Every character that basically increases the number of erosion stacks you can have on the enemy, like Aero Rover, is not working. Instead of getting 6 stacks on the enemy, you're getting 3. So you cannot use Linne in half of the meta teams. Like Cartesia team is meta right now. You cannot put her on that team. Okay? Chiza, she's not meta, but she's like the latest character. You cannot use her. You cannot use Linne with the Septimon characters, Augusta and Yuno. So basically, any of the meta teams, you cannot put Linne on the team. You pull her and you have to bench her until and unless they fix her. That is so sad. Like the latest character, you cannot use her with any of the meta teams. I was using Linne with Augusta and Yuno. That might explain a few things. I mean, if you notice, like there was not a significant damage buff that you were getting previously, that is the reason. Because she is cancelling our Yuno buff. She's cancelling our Yuno buff plus her buff that is supposed to give 24% damage amplification to all sort of damage. That is also giving only 8.9%. So you may have seen like a huge dip in DPS than what you were getting before. All right. So that is my question. First of all, what the quality check team was doing. Okay. How did they even approve a version like this? And the second is, what were the beta testers doing? Okay. Because this version was supposed to be in beta test for 1 month before release. So the beta testers must have noticed these bugs. Like it is impossible to not notice the fact that the Sonata set, for one of the new Sonata sets, literally 3 Sonata sets we got, right? One of the new Sonata sets, it's not working. It's impossible to notice that, to not notice that, basically. It's impossible to not notice the fact that Linne's ultimate is not working as it is intended to. And it's like, what sort of beta tester do you have to be to not test Linne with the other limited banner that is on launch with her, right? Cartesia, Linne having the banner at the same time. So any beta tester did not test Cartesia with Linne. How is it possible? Like Line is the best in slot support after Shikona right now for Cartesia, right? Her buffs are gonna be insane for Cartesia. She is replacing Sanhua in that team. How did not a single beta tester test this? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Like, what were the beta testers doing? Did they test anything? Did they test anything? Did they even test the main story quest? Like, the main story quest, people are getting stuck with the main story quest. They are not being able to progress the main story quest. Did they not even test the main story, bro? What were they doing? Considering how universal she is, they should have been testing her with every exactly, man. She is like the best damage amplification character that we have in the game right now. Sub DPS best damage amplification character. Her buffs are absolutely insane. So they should have tested her with every single character. But even if they did not test her with every single character, I can understand if they probably did not test her with Jian, maybe, right? Because Jian is like the first limited banner character we have had in the game. Okay, maybe they did not test her with Jian. I would have understood it. Cartesia is the banner that she is releasing with, so she should have been the first character they tested with Line. They did not do that. They did not even test that. That is the more insane stuff. That is the more insane part. From experience, not specifically WuWa, but beta testers are known for thoroughly testing and letting the devs know. The devs just didn't fix it, most likely. Now, honestly, you know what? I'm not going to be blaming the beta testers 100% on this, because even if the beta testers did not report this issue, Kuro should have some responsibility in themselves to test the version, right? Especially the story quest, especially the kit of your first limited banner character. Beta testers will be testing for like more specific bugs in the game, like more experience specific bugs. Maybe a translation is missing somewhere, some characters voice acting is glitching. They may be testing stuff like that. But the main character that you are releasing the game version with, that character not working as intended, the main story not working as intended, people crashing in the main story, I think this is something Kuro should have tested themselves. Their quality check team should have done it themselves. They should not be relying on beta tester for literally so basic stuff, so basic bugs, right? This sort of stuff should not even make it to the beta versions. Forget about the official version. The beta version should be more stable than this. So it's not only, I won't say it's only the problem with beta testers. It may be the problem with beta testers. We don't know the background, right? Because beta testers these days are more busy leaking the game than actually providing beta feedback. Let's be real, right? That they're more busy leaking the game. But it may not just be the beta testers. It may be the fault from both parties. Maybe the beta testers were also not doing their job properly. They were just busy leaking the game. And maybe Kuro themselves did not quality check this version. But either ways, this version was extremely bad. Extremely bad, to be honest. Like, if I had to compare, people were saying, like, 3.0 is going to be compared to Not Cry of Genshin. It is going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen, right? Because Not Cry is the latest patch that Genshin got. And 3.0 Star Torch Academy update is the latest update WuWa got. And considering how both of these games are, like, continuously compared with each other, take a look at how bug-free, how stable, and how like polished Not Cry is compared to whatever WuWa has released in 3.0. That is the thing, right? People are gonna make this comparison. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. What I think is that they just rushed the release. They exactly did. That is what I'm saying. Why would you want to rush the release and release a version during Christmas, when half of the players are not playing? Like, half of the Western audience is just not there to play the game. That was probably the worst time they could have released the game. They could have easily delayed this version for 2 weeks. Literally, no one was complaining. No one was complaining. I didn't think the bugs were that widespread with the new patch. I mean, I have played it myself, but I have had myself, but I always thought that it was just me. Nah, bro, it is not you. It is not just you. It is not just you. If you wanna see how bad it is, I will recommend you to go to Reddit, to go to the official Wuthering Waves, okay, forum, and just go into technical issue and bugs. Okay, and you will see how many bugs this version has. Literally 1 hour ago again, avoid freezing while doing motorcycle tutorial on mobile devices. This post will show you a video to avoid that problem. So the update that supposedly happened today, 400 MB plus update, that has still not fixed the motorcycle tutorial mission. It has still not fixed a main story quest mission. Crazy, bro. Like, what are they fixing? 4 fixes have come in the game so far, bro. 4 fixes. I saw a fix that was like fixing the lighting issues on NPCs. Dude, nobody gives a shit about lighting NPCs. Nobody gives a shit about that. Fix your main story quest. Fix the first limited character. And 29th December is already gonna be over in a few hours for me. It's already gonna be over in an hour. So it will be 5 days Linne has came out and they have not fixed that character. 5 days and the main story quest has not been fixed. Freaking crazy, man. Freaking crazy. Found a bug. Finding all soul skins isn't enough to finish the collection quest. My god, man. My god. It is so... Another motorcycle quest, by the way, 2 hours ago. Stuck on halfway quest and app crashes. Again, look at this. Vehicle driving tutorial. Once again, if you go through this subreddit, if you go through the bugs section of the subreddit, literally half of these posts are gonna be the motorcycle one. Literally, let me just scroll down a bit. We're gonna find another one. Okay? We're gonna find another one. Game keeps freezing. Vehicle driving tutorial. Found it. Like, let's go a little bit down, a little bit more down. Okay, Wuthering Waves motorcycle, another motorcycle related issue, grind rail crashes the game. Gone, bro. Gone. Game freeze on motorbike tutorial. Is it possible? Is it even possible? Like, how is it even possible that Kuro has not noticed this? When like every 4th or 5th post on your subreddit, on your official subreddit, is about this motorbike issue. How is it that you have not noticed this yet? And you release a bug fix patch today, and you have not fixed this. You have not fixed Linne. It's just salt to the injury at this point. Like, what are you fixing? You are not fixing the main story quest. You're not fixing the first limited banner character, bro. Stop fixing the lighting on NPCs. Fix this shit first, please. Kuro, please first fix this shit. Stop fixing lighting on NPCs. Stop fixing dialogues and all that shit, bro. This stuff needs to be fixed first. My guess is that they just don't know how to fix it. Honestly, man, it has been 5 days and they have not fixed it. So I will not be surprised that they don't even know how to fix this at this point. They're probably just confused. Like, they're like, oh my god, bro. We just made this motorbike and we just don't know how to optimize Unreal Engine to, like, to play this shit without lags. Because even without the motorbike, the game was enough laggy, right? And now you have a freaking vehicle in a game that already runs at subpar FPS on literally good, PCs and stuff. So they're probably as confused as the community is. Like, how are we gonna fix all of this shit? Unless you pay a bunch of workers to work overtime over holidays, nothing is getting fixed. Bro, why did they even release the patch on the holidays? That is the first thing. They just kicked the bucket with that one. They just, like, literally eliminated the Western player base with that one. They could have released this before the holidays. They could have released this after the holidays. Literally not a single game makes updates in holidays. And you know what the more insulting shit is? First of all, they launched this game on Christmas and then they do not put a single Christmas event in the game. Like, how much are you gonna insult the Western players, bro? The Western players are gonna go crazy over this. They will take this shit personally. Western players hate the fact when game developers, especially Chinese game developers, do this. They treat the Chinese community more preferably than the Western community. You get Chinese New Year events in the game, okay? You get the Dragon Festival events in the game, but you don't have a single Christmas event when your game update is happening on Christmas. Not even a character skin, not even a bike spray, bro. How do you do that? How do you do that? You launch an update, such a big update on Christmas, and you don't put a Christmas event? Can you guys realize how pissed off the Western audience is gonna be when they think of this update in this way? And I know for a fact a lot of people are gonna be complaining about it. The Western players, the Western content creators right now are not online because they are having the time of their life with their family. But once they are back, I know for a fact someone is gonna be making a video on this. Okay? League of Legends, sometimes it takes 2+ weeks to fix a kid bug. I mean, yeah, bro. But in League of Legends, the fact is you can just go ahead and ban the latest character that is just breaking the game. Right? Just go ahead and ban that hero. So you don't have to deal with that character anymore. But out here, you are spending money to get a limited banner character. You gonna bench her or what? You gonna bench the character you just paid for? China doesn't celebrate Christmas though, right? Or do they have a different holiday? No, they do not have any holidays. They do not have any holidays. So to be honest, the Kuro dev team was not off work. Okay, they were probably still working. So yeah, that hypothesis that maybe it's holidays, they are not working, it's not real. Okay, yeah, it's not real. The Kuro team was still working on the game because the Kuro team is working in China, and China does not celebrate Christmas. In fact, they do not even have a holiday on Christmas, not even for a single day. Offices and everything remain open, right? So it was for a fact that the Kuro team was working on holidays. So the full team was working. Nobody was off. Nobody was off. And we got a buggy version like this. Insane. I think the character bug fixes are more complicated to fix in general. Honestly, you know what? I don't feel like that. Because take a look at Lineage Kit, right? It's supposed to give you 24% damage amplification. It's giving you 8%. So how difficult is it gonna be to just change the multipliers in the game, Change the multipliers a bit. I think fixing something like this, the motorbike just randomly crashing in one point of the game, I think this is more complicated, because for this you have to go ahead and start optimizing the code so that it does not mess up. This is probably going to be taking a long time, and that is why it's even more frustrating, the fact that Lineage Kit can actually be fixed so easily, but they have not addressed it. It's just changing numbers, man. It's just changing the formula, right? They probably have formulas set in place. All they have to do is just change the numbers in the formula, how the damage calculation in the game works, and it's fixed. They don't have to do anything at all. Yeah, DNA put just look at that, man. DNA was targeting Western audience, and see how seriously they took it. They put Christmas skin in the game literally months before Christmas. That is how seriously they took their shit. That is how seriously they took the Christmas event. And meanwhile, there is Kuro. First of all, they released the game on Christmas, okay, with a shit ton of bugs, but everyone is gonna be outside. They release the game on Christmas. They don't put a single Christmas event. They don't have a single in-game Christmas cosmetic or skin or anything to reflect Christmas. Nothing at all. Did they make a happy Merry Christmas post on the Twitter? Bro, this is very important for me. I need to go ahead and check. Okay, where is 25th December? Let's go all the way down to 25th December. December 25th. Wuthering Waves Battle Rush event is live. Neo Tide. Okay, that is the album. Wuthering Waves 2.8 Rush 2.8. Okay, yeah, that's a video, random video. Content creation program, fan creation program, web event, a Line promo, another Line promo, 3.0 version drops, patch notes for 3.0. Holy shit, bro. They did not even add a Merry Christmas post on their global page? That is insane, bro. That is insane. You are marketing to the global audience. You did not post a Merry Christmas page. Like, if this was the JP page, if this was the Chinese page for Wuthering Waves, I could understand that. But this is the global page. Half of the globe celebrates Christmas, and you don't put an event in the game. That in itself is like kind of messed up. You don't put a Merry Christmas post. At least you could have like put like a art in the page, with some of the characters in Christmas outfits or some shit. Like, you could have made a wholesome post or something. Did Genshin post it? I'm kind of interested in knowing this now. If Genshin posted this, it would be so messed up. It would be so messed up. December 27th. Yeah, look at this, man. Look at this. You know for a fact that Genshin is like Hoyoverse is prioritizing the Western audience from this. Probably means the WuWa devs usually not Western, and Kuro would probably benefit from seasonal events. Or, bro, that is not even true. I mean, Genshin devs, okay? Hoyoverse is not also a Western dev. MiHoYo, Hoyoverse, these are Chinese companies. They are taking the Western audience very seriously, right? They're taking it very seriously. If Hoyoverse, if your competitor game, the game that is like the biggest competition for you in the market, is taking care of its Western audience, where are you, Kuro? Where are you? Where is your Christmas post? And for some reason, they can't get it to calculate properly. I did notice Kuro doesn't celebrate any holidays at all in game except Chinese one. This is something that, triggers the Western audience so much. They have done the same shit with PGR. Let me tell you why PGR was not as successful as Honkai Impact, right? The reason, PGR is a really good game. PGR was even more entertaining. It had, in my opinion, a really good story. The reason why PGR was not successful is because the Chinese version and the global version was different. The Chinese version got more events. The Chinese version got more free stuff. The Chinese version had like better skins and stuff, right? Meanwhile, the global version was completely neglected. And when Wuthering Waves released as a global version for like everyone in the globe, I had hopes that maybe Kuro has improved. Maybe Kuro will treat the global players same as the Chinese players. And you can totally see that is not happening. They put in events for Chinese New Year. They put in events for Dragon Festival. But they don't have a single event for Christmas. They are so, they insulted Christmas to such a point that they literally launched the game version on Christmas, when they know half of the people in the West are not going to be able to play it. And then they went ahead to not only include a Christmas event in the game, they did not put a Christmas event at all. They did not post about Christmas on their like feed as well, on Twitter as well, when it is a global Twitter. Honestly, releasing something like a 2.9 as a minor update would have given time. Literally, they could have just made a filler patch. We already know like the past few patches in Wuthering Waves were kind of fillers, right? And the Cheesa patch 2.8 was just so good, right? Cheesa patch was just so good. They could have extended to the story, to be honest. Like Cheesa's story quest and everything, the whole region, it was so pretty. The story quest was so good. They could have expanded on it with another update, if I'm being completely honest, right? They could have bought time for themselves. They could have avoided releasing the game during Christmas. But that does not matter, to be honest. That does not matter because the Kuro devs were working full time in China. The studio is situated in China, right? They don't get any holidays on Christmas. So if you are thinking that the team was on holidays, that is why you have so many quality issues in the game, that is just not true. The team was working. The team was working. You bring up a good point. Even Genshin, bro, exactly, man. Exactly. When your competitor game is doing this, how do you not do this? How do you not do this? Just take a look, man. Their 25th December posts are so depressing. They are so freaking depressing, man. Not a single post on Christmas. Not a single post. I know for a fact some content creator is gonna be making content on this. I don't know. Should I do it? I don't know. I'll take a look at it. If tomorrow I find something even more interesting, then I'll probably make a video on that. Otherwise, I'm going to be making a video on this. This shit is messed up, bro. This shit is messed up. This shit is messed up. Not a single Christmas post. Honestly, I think it wasn't that big of a deal that they don't add any religious events, as they already gave us 3.0 update drops. Bro, it's not the fact about 3.0 update drop. The problem is when you are dropping the update, right? It's the time frame when you're doing it. If you update the game at any other point, like, I don't think anyone would have been saying anything if they did it in New Year, like New Year, new version. Not a problem, right? You're doing it on like a festival that is very important for your Western audience, right? So when you are doing something like that on Christmas, you should at least like mention it somewhere in the game, put in like a small mini event, maybe send a mail in game. Even I think people would have appreciated a mail, to be honest, right? If you're not making an event, even a mail people would have appreciated. There was not even a mail in game, right? There is not a Twitter post out here, but they do that shit for Chinese New Year. You're saying that they don't take religious stuff seriously. They do it for Chinese New Year though, right? So what is this? They are looking down on Western audience and they are treating Chinese audience with a lot of respect. Now I understand that China is your home studio and you make a lot of money from China, but you are also marketing the game to Western audience, right? So the least you could do is make a post. The least you could do is just put an artwork like how Genshin has done, right? I don't think this takes a lot of effort. You just need one artist, maybe just one artist, and you can just start planning for this way before Christmas, right? Some games like DNA had Christmas skins months before Christmas. Just compare the size of the studio. Just compare DNA's studio size to Kuro. If they had the time, if they had the resources and the intention to make a Christmas skin in game, why couldn't Kuro make even a small post? Why would you compare Kuro to Hoyo? That's not really a fair comparison. I'm not comparing something like how much revenue the studios make or the quality of games or something like that, bro. This is literally like a gesture to a community. This is literally gesture to community, right? You can speak about something like this. I'm not talking about the graphics of this game or that game, the gameplay, blah, blah, blah. That is something that depends on the game, the type of game it is, okay? The type of devs they are, the amount of money each studio has. You don't need a lot of money or anything to make something like this. That is the thing. It's very hurtful. It's very hurtful. Like, if you think about it, if you are a Western player and if you see that your game does not care about your audience at all. I know a lot of people, if people can be pissed about Mortefi showing up with Lucilla, imagine how much people would be pissed when they know Wuthering Waves does not care about Western audience. Right? You have players like that in the gacha community. Okay, they did just because Hoyo did it does not mean Kuro have to do it. Not saying I'm not anything pro-Chinese or pro-Chinese culture or anything, but why are you angry about that? Bro, because they did the same shit with PGR. Look where PGR is right now. Look where PGR is right now. When they start to treat one form of the community better than the other form of the community. When you start to treat the Chinese community better than the global community, right? When you are giving the Chinese community events, when you're giving the Chinese community everything they want, but then you don't give the global community events, people get pissed, bro. I have seen this happening again and again in multiple games. I have seen games like, have you guys heard of Honor of Kings, by the way? Insanely popular in China. It was literally the #1 game in China for years before Genshin Impact came out. For years, okay? They did a global release, but they made events specific to China, okay? The events were specific to China. Like, you would get Chinese New Year, but you won't get the global events. Guess what happened? The game freaking died. The game freaking died, okay? It happens. It happens. Bro, Kuro bot is like, yeah, first of all, man, first of all, are you from China? Why are you defending this move? That is the point. Do you hate the fact? Do you hate the fact of having another event in the game? Or what? Having another event in the game, is it gonna ruin the game for you? If Kuro made a post about Christmas, was that gonna ruin Christmas for you? I wanna just know this fact. Right? Is it gonna make the day bad for you? Is it gonna ruin the game for you? This is minimum stuff that I'm asking for them, by the way. I'm not even asking from them anything like make an event in game, give me a cosmetic in game, right? Or give me a Christmas specific character or anything. I'm not asking any of that stuff. I'm just asking, bro, why would you not post even like anything about Christmas on your Twitter when you are releasing the game on Christmas? I just want to know that, right? Why would you not do that? I think PGR is in the spot it deserves. Kuro didn't used to do too much marketing for PGR. I mean, back in those days, Kuro did not really have the money to market. Let's be real. Okay, they were a very small team. They were a very small team. The reason PGR flopped, I played PGR for a long time, and the reason PGR flopped, being a part of the community, I know the fact, is because Chinese PGR just got more updates. It got more updates, it got more freebies, and the Chinese PGR game was like months ahead of the global version. Okay, literally months ahead of the global version. So the global players, they just got frustrated. It was the downfall of PGR. PGR was doing really good in China. The global version never really caught up, never really did well, because Kuro kept treating the global version like a secondary thing, a backup. They never really gave attention to global players. That is why PGR global flopped so bad. Even PGR is still relevant in China. It's not that much relevant globally because of that reason. Okay, so this is just sad. The reason why I picked this topic up, the reason why I picked up this Christmas event is because someone commented that the reason why Wuthering Waves 3.0 is so buggy is probably because half of the Kuro team was out on holidays and they did not get time to test the 3.0 version properly, right? But that made me realize that Kuro is based in China and they do not have a holiday for Christmas in China, right? So the whole Kuro team was working on 3.0. And even though the whole Kuro team was working on 3.0, we ended up with a version that has bugged limited banner character, 3 bugs in a limited banner character, that has bugged story quest, that has literally broken driving. People cannot go past the driving tutorial. Half of the people are failing the driving tutorial. So many bugs and issues, right? That is why I jumped to this Christmas issue. That is where this Christmas issue came to my mind. You know what? The game launched in Christmas. The devs were not celebrating Christmas, but the version did update in Christmas, right? So why did we not have anything related to Christmas in the game? Because literally even smallest to small games, like games that are literally 100% Chinese, like Mobile Legends also do it. Mobile Legends, even like the old games like PUBG, they also do it. They are also Chinese games, bro. They are also Chinese games that have a lot of Western audience. They do it. That is why I'm saying Hoyoverse is also a Chinese company and they have done it. It's something that you do as a gesture to your community, to like make the Western audience feel that they are being heard, to make the Western audience feel like, they are also important to the game. It's not anything game breaking. It's not gonna be like bringing Kuro to the ruin or anything, but it's just a gesture that you make to the people, that you care about them. That is the thing. It will be bad for Kuro to follow what global players think of and what good marketing stuff is up to date with global players' holidays or global celebrations. What? It will be bad for Kuro to follow what global players think of what good marketing is. I mean, honestly, dude, you are marketing the game for global, right? So you have to follow some things. I'm not telling you to like go ahead and follow every single one of them, right? It's not practical. It's not practical. But just a few things, how many events did we have? We had a lot of, like, Kuro posted a lot of stuff, bro, on 25th December. They could have just put another post. Like, it's not even about marketing. It's not even about like having an event in game or anything. They just had to post it. Do you think this is marketing, bro? Do you think this is marketing? This is just a normal post, man, because they get paid to do this, right? The marketing team in Kuro, the social media team in Kuro gets paid to post a certain number of posts every single day, right? All they had to do was just do a post. It's not even marketing. They're not trying to sell the game based on a Christmas event or anything, right? It's not like if they make a Christmas post, suddenly Wuthering Waves downloads are gonna go up, right? And Wuthering Waves just got like the Game Awards, right? The Game Awards is not a Chinese award, by the way. You guys remember Black Myth Wukong did not win an award last year because it was a Chinese game. It was a Chinese game, it did not win. But Kuro Games is so much respected by the Western community that it got like the Player's Choice Award in Game Awards, right? So it is very respected in the Western community. So something, bro, something like this was to be expected, honestly. You know what, guys? This live stream has gone pretty long, and yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. All right, it was nice talking to you guys about all of this stuff that is going on in Wuthering Waves right now, and I'll see you guys in a live stream tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't know what time it is at your place, but it's really night. I've been skipping dinner all this time, right? So I'm gonna have dinner after this. So yeah, good night, guys. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.